Yeah, ass lick.
I'd say that.
Hey, it's us, Slick Mons.
Digitokens. CommanderSmiths are the champions. CommanderSmiths are the champions. Change into Commander champions to win the Commander world. CommanderSmiths are the champions.
Man, I'm stumped. I feel like I should know this.
You definitely should. I gave
Is
you
it like
pretty
from
good
a
hint.
TV show?
It is a TV show.
Okay. I
gave you a huge hint at the beginning.
But it's not Digimon or whatever.
Yes,
it is. I never watched Digimon.
I know.
When you said Digitokens, and I was like, Digimon, and then I was, but I don't know.
Yeah. So
how does the
opening.
show go? Like, how's
Digimon?
Oh, see, I have no idea.
Digimon are the champions. Yeah, I think so.
I never watched that show. I was too old for that show.
So that was a song suggestion by number 2.
Thanks, number 2.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it played in pretty well there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So,
welcome to CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I am Lowry Smith.
And this is episode number 68.
I'll believe you.
So this week we have
Modern Horizons.
Pretty much everybody
spoiled.
else is doing.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to do something completely original like everybody else.
Yeah, so we are going to go through Modern Horizons and kind of discuss what we think is really good for
see what
Commander.
Cards piqued our interest.
And maybe talk
which
about,
is almost like all of them, it feels like. But
you see those little memes where it was like the
Commander
Scooby-Doo thing where it's really you pull the mask off. And
it was like Modern Horizons, pull the mask, Commander Masters. It was Masters. I knew it.
Come Masters. That was excellent. So yeah, basically this whole episode's going to be that. We won't have any specs because we'll kind of maybe talk about some as we're going, being like, oh, cards might work with this or whatever.
But since we are late, we do get to do some news that happened. Today it was announced officially in London Mulligan Rule is going to be like the official for tournament mulligans
all
for
formats, except I don't think that really affects us because there's a separate Commanders.
But it is interesting.
Yeah, but with that, we were on, was it on Facebook, I think? One of the pages.
Yeah, number 2 kind of sent us over
sent
a text. And so it was kind of interesting that somebody was like, they just draw 10 and then like randomly put 3 on the bottom. So they're starting
in a random order
7,
doure there.
And that'll like just a better chance of lands and stuff like that. I found that interesting.
I think that's pretty good. We'll talk about it next week. We're actually double casting. We're going to be talking about gameplay for our next episode. Mm-hmm. And spoiler alert, that would have helped me in one of the fucking games because one of the games I got really screwed.
Screwed.
Well, we're going to start with the good for yous here, Lowry.
I didn't say anything. It
wouldn't have helped you.
It was bad for you.
But yeah, so that, and also another thing that came out news-wise, the Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix actually is
so
going
we talked
to
about
have
a couple
show.
weeks ago, or a couple months ago, is that the rumors that there was going to be a Magic the Gathering thing.
Yeah.
They are going to do it.
And they have some pretty...
Yeah, who are the...
so the Russo brothers from Endgame, and Infinity Wars are the executive producers on this. And then I think there's some people that are attached that did like Clone Wars from like the Star Wars cartoon. There's a couple other people that I can't... But it's like, that's kind of impressive that they actually have like... something that I have heard of that is working on this.
It's not just
their
first movie
promise.
that they're working on.
Like, who? Who's this? Why is Keanu Reeves directing this? Like,
do you think it's going to be like how the trailer was for War of the Spark? I think it's going to be that kind of animation, or do you think it's going to be more...
I don't know how they play
live action like Mortal Kombat. I don't remember Mortal Kombat movies.
I mean, going with... I'll probably expect it more to be like Clone Wars. Something similar, maybe just an updated version of that.
I mean, was that the animated?
Yeah, there's an animated Clone Wars. Maybe it's not called Clone Wars because that was part of it. But yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I would expect something similar to that animation style.
But wouldn't it be sweet if it was like the Mortal Kombat stuff, the movies? Those movies were terrible, but I loved them because it was like I play those guys in video games.
I'm not looking for anything other than a good product. Like I don't expect it to follow the storyline of what's going on. I'm just gonna go in with a clean slate and hope, as long as it looks good.
But I get it. Like this last, how they did War of the Spark, it was awesome. It was like, I actually want to see this like play out, like the actual battles take place and how they actually got Nicol Bolas trapped and all that stuff, and Gideon sacrificing himself and all that.
The problem that I have is like they have a book that's based off of it, and so it's like a 2-parter apparently. In the first part of the book, I have not seen anything that's super positive on it.
Oh, really?
I need to buy it. I need to sit down and just like find it.
Yeah, because you're whatever. Lord Tim with Larry.
It's been a while. I gave up that nickname. No, but
one of your many.
But I've heard not positive things about it. So I just hope that they do a better job with an animated series.
Well, if they do it like the trailer was,
I think it can be successful.
Yeah.
That's what I hope. I just hope that it can be successful. I hope they do a good job. That's all it is.
Sweet. So a couple things for this week. We did finish up our May Proxies of the Week with YouTube. Also with Dick Sleeves was last month.
Dick Sleeves. Wheel.
So our drawing for this month is everybody that did it.
That wrote Dick Sleeves in our comments.
Which is a whole bunch of...
Everybody, we're talking at least $2 worth in stamps. That's 4 people.
So if you did send us a message, we know who you guys are. Shoot us an email at our Gmail account. Just so if you're not a patron,
at CommanderSmiths,
there you go,
at gmail.com.
Yeah, send us an email with your address and which proxy. You can pick from anything from May, or DigiTokens, any of those. And then for
DigiTokens.
June,
DigiTokens.
What is our word for June?
It's going to be Meat Force.
So yeah, Meat Force on any of the videos. You can do it creatively, or you can just write in there Meat Force
for the month of June,
and then you'll get the proxies there. Where's another way that people can get proxies?
Because people are going to be listening to this for 20 years.
Yeah.
2019.
So how do people get more proxies? They go to...
If you go to Patreon and do some sort of donation, we will send you some pretty cool cards.
And we are kind of changing things up a little bit. You can get it for that current month and the previous month to give a little bit. 2 months. DigiTokens are always available. Any one of those you can get. But now we had the May ones, so now when we do June, you can pick for June or May. So because I released
a little bit more selection.
Yeah, I released one of them on May 30th, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks if somebody already wanted 2 other ones, and then they're done with...
Give you a little bit more options.
Yeah. So, what else do we have here? Twitter, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter.
We had Instaspec this week with all the release.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Was that last week?
Oh, it's last week, yeah.
Yeah, last week. You said
this week. But I mean, it was... I know we're doing this on Monday, but I'm talking about...
How about this last week?
There we go. So Cass jumped when they announced it. We're not really going to talk about reprints when we do the Modern Horizons thing.
Yeah.
So Cass is one of the reprints, and the only version of Cass is foil from Commander 2 years ago. And I tweeted out,
awesome card.
Pick it up because it's foil and it's mythic in this.
Semi-playable in Legacy. It's going to be playable in
Modern.
Yeah. It should be.
So those were going for $6. They jumped up to 20 probably within the hour after I texted it or tweeted it. And then they're kind of settling in at 13. I think those will still go up though because you have the Modern Horizons one. Wait until it comes out.
If it becomes played,
it'll. I'm kind of sitting on them because I got them for $6 and they've been at $6. So I was like, all right, I can sell them back for what I got them. So yeah, I guess it is. Well, I'm more promoting Instaspecs, not Smith specs, since we don't have Smith specs.
And then so we talked about email, Twitter, Patreon, YouTube. Meat Force on our YouTube. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Dick Sleeves was a little too awkward.
Yeah, people are like, I don't want to write that.
I don't really. I mean, you could have like drawn out a dick.
I don't
YouTube.
know. Could you do that?
Yeah, I mean, didn't they used to do that?
I don't know if you can actually
do like.
Oh, you with the numbers and everything like that.
Yeah.
That would have worked somehow.
We would have figured. Well, I would have figured it out.
I wouldn't have. For some reason, I didn't get.
That's a really cool cucumber.
Oh, that person really likes it. It's eating a lot of them. And there's like water emojis everywhere. Why is that everywhere? Oh, stupid humor. All
right. Keep listening to us. I swear, we'll get there.
All right, should we move into... I think that's our meat and potatoes. We're done with everything else there, so we'll just move into our Modern Horizons.
Yeah, Modern Horizons. We're going to talk about it.
That's what we're going to do. Here's the intro. We're going to talk about it.
Boom.
All right, so Modern Horizons came out, and there is plenty of Commander cards, probably more than I would say in a normal standard set.
Yeah. And this is... the last time we talked about this, I said that this power level needed to be way higher.
What about the goddamn beer?
Oh, yeah.
I'm thirsty. I look down. I'm like, I want to drink this.
Drink this. Right. All right. So Abzan Leo over on Twitter. He's down in Louisiana, Leo. This is the last episode that he will be sponsoring us from Parish Brewery. This one is called Vanilla Shade. Fuck, I hope I got that right.
Do you want me to pull up the email?
Vanilla Shade. And so this one is an Imperial Stout that was aged for a year in 4 Roses barrel. And then at the end, they tossed some vanilla beans in the area, and you just catch a whiff, I think.
Ooh, sweet. Well, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Let's do this. Ooh, I really like that.
Holy crap.
I like that a lot. I think this might be the best beer I've had that you've brought for sharing. And it isn't even you bringing it.
Yeah, I'm not good at this, apparently. Oh, man, that's
really good.
I kind of, other than Louisiana, I kind of want to move to Louisiana, but...
It's too hot. That's
really
good.
That's really good.
That's a good like sipping beer, and it has a good taste to it too.
If you live near an area where you can get Parish Brewery, like brewing stuff,
or if you want to send us some more,
also true.
We won't necessarily drink on the air, but we will
drink it and hold ourselves.
Take pictures and send them to you.
No, that's delicious stuff. Thank you so much.
I interrupted you before because I really wanted to drink this beer, and I'm glad that I interrupted you. So
clearly,
Modern Horizons, we were talking about it. I interrupted something about we were saying how Commander, all that fun stuff.
Oh, they had to for this set to be where I felt like it needed to have a pretty high power level compared to like standard sets. Because there was a lot of standard or Commander cards that came with War of the Spark.
A lot.
But this, if it's going to impact what they were calling modern, like it had to be powerful because
for sure because modern is pretty damn powerful. You know, it's turn 3 kills and all that.
And just in general, in that ability, you're going to get cards that are going to make its way into Commander. But this, I think they have succeeded. I am really hyped and pumped for this. I don't feel bad buying a box.
I want to get more.
Yeah, but I kind of want to get more War of the Spark too.
I know, that's the hard thing. Is like War of the Spark is probably one of my more favorite standard sets that I've come across, and we'll be talking about that next week as our top 10 cards for War of the Spark for Commander. Just kind of a little preview for that. But this, I want to buy both boxes, and it's like shit, I've never wanted to buy more boxes necessarily of. I take that back because I did want to do Ultimate Masters, but that was for a different reason because the box toppers.
You definitely bought a bunch of that,
right. And they're now starting to sell. My Life of the Loams are selling and all that crap.
So an interesting thing that I hadn't really heard until like a couple of days ago is that are they doing foils in this product, or is it?
No, it's not pack foil. There'll be foils.
Okay.
But it's not going to be packed foil. Like every pack has a foil. Like
sure, it's not every. But I was hearing there's going to be like full art cards.
What? Where did you hear that?
Yeah, I saw a list of cards that were going to be full art. I just was wondering if that was going to replace the pack foils or whatever.
Well, we know that tokens are going to have foils. Yeah. 1 in 4 tokens are going to be foil
on that list.
Oh, was it? I didn't even see that.
So it was like down below the foil token announcement. I'm pretty sure.
Which is awesome because they've Unstable had foil full art tokens, which were pretty sweet. I loved those.
I'll admit that I don't care as much about foil tokens in this set. Like it makes a joke of a set more fun.
Yeah.
But this isn't really. This is a serious set.
This is some serious stuff.
Yeah. So like a foil token, like cool full art, cool. But this
I don't know if it's going to be full
art.
art. I think they're just going to be foil.
But the Snowlands.
Yeah, the Snowlands are going to be awesome.
Full art lands. So kind of see that similarity between the unsets, like full lands, foil tokens, like that. Those are gimmicks that this doesn't really need.
The question for you though, with the snow-covered lands, are those going to take the place of your basics? Your normal that you're using now?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I'm not going to get enough of them.
Yeah, well, if you had the opportunity, would they make the place? I mean, there's no downside really to them. There's more of an upside that if you're playing with snow land, like snow things that deal with it.
If you start seeing more people playing with snow-covered lands, make sure that you buy up all the meltings that you can.
Then get rid of,
gets rid of all the snow lands. Ice Age, red card.
I'm gonna try to. These look awesome. I still like Unstables lands better, how they look, but these are quickly being my number 2. Hey, number 2. He's getting a lot of shout outs this episode.
He's gonna get some next week.
Yeah, he is. All right, so should we actually start breaking these down? We're gonna go color by color and just kind of work our way through what cards we actually want to talk about. We won't hit everything, of course.
We're just like every mythic and rare.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there's some uncommons and then
it's too many cards.
Yeah, there's a lot. All right, so do you want to start us off?
Let's do this. You can.
The Ranger Captain.
You can.
Of Eos is 1 2 white human soldier 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may search for a creature card with converted amount cost 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. You can sacrifice him. Your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. That's pretty friggin' interesting there.
I love it.
Go get your dang Soul Ring or your Mana Crypts or is it non-artifact? Did I just screw that up?
It's creature.
Oh, creature.
Yeah, creature.
I'm going to erase all that.
So there's a card from Shards of Alara that is 1 white, 3 colorless. It's a 2/2, I believe, and it goes and gets you 2 creatures of 1 mana or less. And so this is like a play. It's Ranger. God, GD it. I should probably do research before this.
Sylvan?
No. It's something Eos. So it's associated, like it's not Ranger Captain, it's another title of that sort. Doesn't matter. But does that, but you don't have the sacrifice effect, which is really cool because that makes it so that people can't cast counterspells on your turn. You're able to just force your commander through, force your game-winning spell through. And so, and it's this turn, so you could even do it on somebody else's turn,
so they can't do their thing.
Yeah, or like if you're sitting down and you're just like, I want Cyclonic Rift to go through, sacrifice this, cast Cyclonic Rift.
Boom, I win.
Yeah. I mean, it's just back up to your, they can't do a kill spell on whatever creature that you're having go through. You can't Swords to Plowshare.
Yeah.
Darksteel Claws.
It's a pretty damn good.
So good.
Yeah, it's going to be a must add for a lot of white decks.
Next one we're going to talk about after a Ranger Captain of Eos is Astral Drift. It's a 2 colorless white enchantment. It has cycling 2 colorless white, and whenever you cycle any card or Astral Drift, you get to basically blink any card.
It's pretty crazy.
So it's akin to Astral Slide, which is from
like the electric slide.
I'll keep going.
I wanted you to get to it. It's electric.
But it's nice because it's a little bit fixed because it also has cycling. Maybe they're trying to make cycling a thing in this set and into Modern.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cycling cards. Those are one of the themes I felt like was in this.
Oh yeah, but I still don't think it's good. You might just have more support, but
that's what I was going to say is cycling doesn't have a lot of great stuff, and this is just adding some tools that I think eventually it could get there. I mean, this is the first installment of Modern Horizons. They even have it as Modern Horizons 1, so they're telling you there's going to be more than just this one. I think cycling just needs more tools. We got to get a cycling commander. Do we have one?
Number 2 was talking about having Feather be a cycling commander. And again, I don't think there's enough support or interest to make me go like, oh yeah, I want to throw that there. Mm-hmm. I just don't think cycling works anywhere. And I was wrong. It's not anything. It'll blink target creature on the battlefield. And so you can kill like tokens that way.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing to do.
Get rid of them.
So I just don't think there's enough support at this point.
All right. Our first force of everything here. We have each color has their own. I think this is the weakest one.
We talked about the blue one last time.
Yeah. So we have Force of Virtue, which is 2 and 2 white enchantment. If it's not your turn, you may exile a white card from your hand rather than pay its casting cost. It has flash. Creatures you control get 1/1. Not that exciting.
Sweet.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not that exciting.
So next one's going to be Giver of Ruins, which is
like a poor man's
Mother of Ruins. Yeah, Mother of Ruins that's my lady.
Yeah.
But there's 1 white. It's a 1/2, which is maybe semi-relevant. Another target creature you control gains protection from colors
or colorless
of
your choice until end of turn.
turn.
You just read it different. You said the colors first, and colors
wrong.
was.
I guess I didn't realize colorless.
That's
was on
the
there,
bonus. Is what they're trying to take artifacts and do
because
it.
Mother of Ruins is better in that you can target Mother of Ruins. This cannot target itself. Giver of Ruins cannot protect it.
But it gives you the colorless option of not being,
which is more interesting than I was giving it.
Definitely, because there are times where people are playing artifact deck and you're like, shit, I can't get through.
And there's Devoid everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are Eldrazi, and you could potentially, like if you have like a Karn, if you're facing down a Karn or an Ugin, and they're targeting your stuff, you can give it protection from those guys.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting card. It's not going to be. It's not. I think I would rather play with Mother of Ruins over this, but this is might jump in there with it.
Sure.
2 cards.
It could be like 2 protections.
I'm glad they didn't. Well, of course they wouldn't, but reprint Mother of Ruins. I'm glad that they made another card that was similar to it.
I wish they put Mother of Ruins into Modern, but Giver of Ruins, like you're saying, is
it gives us. I don't care about fucking Modern. I want we have Mother of Ruins.
Yeah,
we can use
true.
Mother of Ruins. I want another card to use its ability, like similar abilities. So this is kind of cool.
I got a bunch of Mother of Ruins, which would go up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Now you have if you're going to play white and you're wanting to protect stuff, white you probably put Mother of Ruins in there 90% of the time, 99% of the time. Depends if you're creature heavy or whatever. You're trying to protect your creature.
90% higher, maybe 50.
So every time that Mother of Ruins is in there, isn't this going to jump in there too? I mean, this is going to be a given, and now you have a better percent chance that you're going to get this card.
If I get one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only $5 right now. Go buy it right now.
Nah,
it'll go down. I think this one will go down. But I think it's a great card for Commander. Next one is On Thin Ice. It is a snow enchantment aura. Enchant snowland you control. When On Thin Ice enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves play. So it's a 1-drop Oblivion Ring, kind of, but it's for creatures, so it would be more like...
Yeah, no, there's a card from the Theros block that's called Chain to the Rocks.
Oh yeah,
which is similar, but you're attaching that aura to a mountain you control. Very similar effect.
I dig it, and kind of going back to the snow covered land stuff. I'm like, this is one benefit that you could have if you're just playing with snow covered basics.
Sure, I don't think it's bad removal, but I also don't. It doesn't beat Swords to Plowshare.
Well,
it's on a list of 6, maybe towards the bottom. Again, I haven't successfully played Chain with the Rocks, but I don't think it's.
Do you play with it?
I have tried, and then I'm like, eh. So it's meh to me. Pretty meh. Could be good, but it'll probably be really good against me. So
yep, it's gonna kill you because you're gonna
because I'm cocking off.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be Winds of Abandon. Colorless and a white. And there's a sorcery. Exile target creature you don't control. For each creature exiled this way, its controller searches their library for a basic land card.
Put in play tap.
These players put those cards into play battlefield tap, and then shuffle their library.
Insane part.
You can overload it for 4 colorless and 2 white. So basically, if you pay the 6,
you're exiling the board.
All of your opponent's creatures, and they all get to put
lands into
play tapped. So it's kind of like a non-attacking Settle the Wreckage for 6.
Yeah,
this
is pretty good.
Really good.
This is pretty good.
You put this in.
I'm glad they're throwing some overload stuff, and I mean, this is it's giving an interesting tool to white. blue has always had Cyclonic Rift as the game winner. That's obviously better than this. I'm not saying this is no, it's not on the same plane as Cyclonic Rift, but it's similar in a way where this should be almost a game winner, because you're exiling everybody else's. You shouldn't do it when you don't really have the board presence, unless you're about to die.
Sure, because you're
just giving.
And you
or you do it when everybody's hands are gone, and it doesn't matter what. Here you go. Here's 15 more land for you. It doesn't matter at that point. But
what happens if you have Leonin Arbiter in play though, and they can't go and search for their cards?
You're just wiping it.
Yeah, so you're just exiling their stuff for 6.
I think this goes in a majority of white decks.
Ashiok, the new Mind Reaver.
Yeah, definitely. But don't you think this takes over? This is the best board wipe that could be out there. Besides, because you got your Wrath of Gods and all that stuff. There are some other
board wipe.
Well, no. I mean, for
there's Hallowed Burial, which is 5 mana, which puts all creatures on the bottom. I really do like it that it's a one-sided Wrath, and you don't have to do any. There's no real restrictions.
And you're late game with this, and if you're playing somebody that isn't Lowry, where he normally has about 15 cards in his hand, most everybody's hands are dwindled down quite a bit, down to a few cards, and you exile all their creatures. Give them land, even if you can't get the win con there. Yeah, you're ahead and killing somebody, and
this is also really good if you're playing against somebody that doesn't have basic lands in their deck.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
So if you're
playing me a couple of years ago when I would play 2 or 3 colors, and I was like, fuck basic land, I'm just gonna get everything. And then Lowry plays, what did you play, the Wave of the Green thing, where it was
Wave of Vitriol, destroy
all non-basic lands and go search for basic, and I was like, I don't have any. From that point forward, I put at least, if it's a 2-color deck, I have at least 12. I at least try to have 8. If I'm playing 5 colors, then I'll put in.
My rule is 8 or 12.
Yeah,
8.
Just copy what I say, Lowry.
Just copy what I say, Lowry.
All right, we're moving on.
No, Battle Screech is a good reprint.
Hey, get out of here!
It's a reprint. Move on.
It is a reprint.
Yeah,
it is a really good card because I love the flashback tapping on 3 untapped creatures. Because
we can talk about it.
It's good.
Caw.
What? Just because it's a bird?
Yeah, the Battle Screech. That was my Battle Screech.
Gotcha.
I like King of the Prides goes in your cat commanders that they did 2 years ago. Other cats you control get +2/+1 because a lot of them are decently weak. So Vesper Lark is pretty cool.
It has an interesting art to it too. It's 2 and a white creature elemental flying. When it leaves the battlefield, return target creature card with power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It has Evoke, which is cool. They have so many different abilities with this set. Yeah. It has Evoke, and it's 1 and 1 white, and it's a 2/1. Like I said, 2/1 flying.
And so this is kind of a callback to Revelark, which will bring back 2 that are power 2 or less. So that one's costs more. This is a cheaper version of Revelark as Vesper Lark. And I think this is I think it's really cool. Answered Prayers, which seem I'm pretty sure. So this is, if you want to sit down and look at Seb McKinnon's art, his stuff is freaking ridiculous. Yeah. We talked about him, I think, in the last 3 sets of Ravnica, but he is probably the best artist.
Is he the art with the one we're going to talk about later with the soul, the blinking one? Yeah, it looks very similar. So he is really good. Yeah.
So what this is a colorless white enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. If Answered Prayers isn't a creature, it becomes a 3/3 angel creature with flying, in addition to its other types until end of turn.
So you have basically a 3-drop enchantment that you gain life when creatures come into play, and then it turns into a 3/3 flying angel, which then it still will gain its life. It's even if you cast more creatures after that. Correct?
Yeah, you'll always be gaining life whenever more creatures coming into play.
That's a freaking, and it's a common.
Yeah, as a common, this seems pretty strong because you got 2 different things going on there. It can avoid board wipes if you're going to play it, and then you have it, and then you play a creature, and then you can attack with a 3/3 angel that turn. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Then our next one is, we're going to get into a lot of slivers here. So Enduring Sliver, this is a white and a colorless 2/2. It has Outlast, which if you don't know what Outlast is, it's tap 2, tap it, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, Outlast.
On that creature.
Outlast only as a sorcery. Other slivers you control have Outlast 2 as well.
So same thing. So that tells me that slivers are on the Khans of Cartier plane, because that's where Outlast is from.
Gotcha.
They're probably not.
All right, you're such a nerd.
Ephemerate. I really like Ephemerate. I'm excited for this one. So it's 1 white instant. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Rebound.
Yeah.
So you do it, and you're saving one of your creatures, and then probably getting some type of double trigger on the ETB.
Well, if you're
Mana,
if you're saving something, you're just saving something. But then maybe your
your
second rebound is an ETB one. Yeah.
That seems. It just seems really cool. I like it.
Yeah, for a 1-drop instant. Gilded Light, I thought is interesting.
Reprint.
Oh, is it? Gosh, you're such a nerd. You know it all.
You're welcome.
Do we want none of those? None of those. All right. They have a new wall.
That was white.
There was a wall that can attack. They've been doing a lot of walls.
Walls aren't walls anymore.
They make them so they all can attack, but that's fine. Works with Arcades. All right, so we move into blue. Did we talk about that guy?
No.
Okay.
That's new.
So Echo of Eons, 4 and 2 blue sorcery. Each player shuffles their library or shuffles their hand graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. It has flashback 2 and a blue. That's insane.
So this is Power 9 level. This is Time Twister, I believe. That's the right
What
card.
are we saying at for price? It's still at $25.
So Time Twister is just 2 colorless and a blue. Do that same effect. But this is 6 to start out with. But flashback 3. This is a perfect way to get around reserve list. This is the weakest card out of the Power 9. But this is still
so good.
Power 9.
Yeah.
I mean, just like add this into like
Mizzet
Perun deck.
Its flashback is Wheel of Fortune effect, except better because you're shuffling everything back in.
Well, Wheel of Fortune is nice because if you can take advantage of like discard effects.
Yeah.
But this is still like it's graveyard hate. Think of it like that too.
This is a card that I hope drops because I really want a lot of these.
I want to play with this.
Can everybody not like this card as much as I like this card?
You have similar cards that are already out there.
But this is a double.
Yeah, being
able to do this, with the flashback effect with it. This is awesome. What are you reading?
Dude, I was just like, I understand that flashback like exiles it instead of puts it in the graveyard, but that'd be really funny if you could flashback it and still shuffle that back into your library.
No,
but you can't. I was just like, just making sure.
All right, you get to talk about somebody that's awesome that we hope that this get in our box opening.
Crazy. So Urza, High Lord Artificer. First time he's gotten an
flipped
official
all
card.
those words around.
What?
It's not a High Lord. He's a
Lord. High Artificer.
Yeah, no, it seems like it should be High Lord.
Yeah.
But it
Hi,
is.
Lord.
Hello.
Hi, Lord Urza. Urza, Lord High Artificer. I have word dyslexia. 2 colors.
You can't use my bit.
Yes, I can.
That's my bit.
2 colorless, 2 blue. Legendary creature, Human Artificer, Mythic. It's a 1/4. God, this card for 4 mana is bonkers.
There's so much that goes into this.
So when Urza Lord High Artificer enters the battlefield, you put a card token into play. So
your buddies, you can call him Urza.
Good old Urza. He puts a 0/0 token into play. That's an artifact that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Cool. But you can tap an untapped artifact you control, add 1 blue mana to your mana
So that gets
pool.
around any summoning sickness effects because it's just tapping. It's not using the tap symbol.
If you wish, you could just tap that token for a blue mana.
Yeah.
And then the other crazy spot is it's 5 mana. You don't have to tap Urza at all, but you shuffle your library and then you exile the top card of your library and you may play it, that card without paying its mana cost. What?
Which it says keyword there is play, which means if it's a land and you haven't played your land that turn,
you could do it.
And that's, a lot of times downfalls of stuff is when it says cast. the play makes it so that you can play any of those cards.
And
4 mana. Remember that. It's 4 to come out.
And again, this Command Zone did, like, they're the ones that got to spoil this.
Lucky fucking bastards.
They did Feather. They did, like, Prime Speaker Vanifair. Like, those guys are getting some bonkers cards.
Yeah, I just started listening to one of their podcasts the other day, today. One of their podcasts. They're now have a commercial at the beginning of their podcast. I'm like, you little bastards. You not only have sponsors by X, Y, and Z, but now you have actually commercials at the beginning of your podcast.
Hi, do you want to get to your podcast? Well, listen to this.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with, I was like, I don't know.
Magic?
People, their audience is completely wrong for the commercial that was on there. It was like something with erections. Oh, that might work.
Is that? Have you eaten too many Doritos? But this card, they do a really good breakdown over there, and they, not having to tap Urza is crazy for the 5 mana effect. So you could just do it if you have 50 mana. You just go. Free cast. Let's see what we're hitting. You're getting mana that doesn't have any sort of summoning sickness just by tapping the artifact.
Oh yeah, you get that.
And then you're getting a potentially huge creature because you're going to be playing a bunch of artifacts. So that creature is going to be huge.
Yeah, this is insane and is probably going to stay the most expensive card.
Right now it's sitting at about $46.
I could see it going way up. This is going to be used a lot. Commander players are going to make it into
Modern. I was thinking that maybe it doesn't because I was thinking it was at 5 mana, which is still
really good for 5.
Really good. And
I would
really
even say 6 would be really good.
I would still play this at 6.
Yeah, I totally would.
But at 4? Yeah. 4 mana to cost Urza. Hi, Lord Artificer.
Hi, Lord.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's bonks.
Yeah.
Move on.
All right. Archmage Charm is a new one. 3 blue and instant. Choose one. Counter target spell. Meh. Target player draws 2 cards. All right. Gain control of target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. I like the middle one the best, but I think giving you all the options is pretty sweet.
I'd be willing to run this in mono blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when you have a 3
blue.
Yeah,
I think this clearly goes in mono blue. My biggest issue with this card is that every other color did not get a charm. Charms come in cycles. You get a charm, you get a charm. Every color gets a charm.
You get a charm, you get a charm. Who wants a charm?
But only blue gets a charm? Come on. That's my problem. And getting control of target non-land, so is that just there to steal people's soul rings?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Commander, remember?
Thanks, Blue.
Commander Horizons. That's what they're doing here.
Yeah, because that's not really... I can't think of anything where I'm, excited to steal in Modern.
Yeah. All right, do we... Yep, that guy?
Yeah. Bizarre Trade Mage, which is a 2 colorless blue. It's a 3/4 flyer. That's pretty undercosted.
For 3, yeah.
When Bizarre Trade Mage enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards and discard 3 cards.
So you better have more than 1 card in your hand.
Or you're just discarding everything. Which is fine.
Yeah. All right. This one was pretty sweet. So it's Merit Lage's Slumber, and it's 1 and 1 blue. We have another freaking 2020 out here. Legendary Snow Enchantment. Now here, snow-covered lands. This is where it comes in, Lowry. This is what I'm talking about. Change your decks.
I mean, if I'm going to
whenever it enters or another snow permanent enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more, it turns into a 2020 flying indestructible fucking creature.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you. I was making a card up in my head. No. Okay, hear me out. This card is really cool. But just getting Merit Lage out as a 2020 is bonkers.
Yeah.
But think of the card that I'm thinking of right now. Boom.
How do I do that?
I will tell you.
Well, you told me to think of it, and I'm trying, but...
So think
Llanowar Elves.
I don't know if this actually even helps. I'm making up the card.
Oh, okay.
So what would happen if we called a new card that turned all of your permanents, or even all permanents in play, snow permanents, and call it the Long Night? like Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Nice.
How sweet would that be? Kind of like a Mycosynth lattice where it turns everything into artifacts. But have this turn into all snow permanents.
I like that.
That'd be really cool.
You should get on the board for making new cards.
No, they clearly don't listen to me.
No. This one's freaking kind of sweet.
It's so freaking kind of okay.
Mediocre. No, I like this one a lot, actually.
Yeah, sure. Mirrodin Besieged. It's 2 colorless and a blue for an enchantment. Rare. It's really small words. I need you to enlarge it a little bit.
I'll read it because it's over my head.
You got it.
So you can choose one or the other. You can choose Mirrodin, which is whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature. Or you can pick Phyrexian at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more artifacts in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game.
Wait.
Yeah, you didn't hear that part, did you?
No. I thought it was you won the game. So target opponent loses the game. That's definitely Commander.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, I know. It's not just one-on-one. It's like, well, we know you have multiple opponents, and you lose the game, and you lose the game.
That'd be cool to take extra turns with 15 because like it makes you work harder at winning. You don't just win the game,
right?
Which feels more fair.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But really would suck if it's just like mill, put 15 artifacts, play this, you lose the game. Somebody exiles your graveyard. All right, game goes on for another 2 hours.
That person lost.
Good job.
But I think it's a pretty sweet card for Commander, especially since you pointed that part
awesome.
out. All right, then we get into our... Well, I said the last one,
Besieged,
even though ninjas are my thing, but we have our first ninja.
Mist Syndicate Naga.
Not going to work here anymore.
You got me. You definitely got me on that one.
That was really stupid. I'm glad you laughed that much off of that, how stupid that was.
I'm a dad now, so it works on me. 2 colorless and a blue for a 3/1. It has Ninjutsu, 2 colorless and a blue. Whenever Mist Syndicate Naga...
you should just do it easier and say whenever this deals...
No. We were just told... Okay, so we were playing with Jeremy, and he wants us to say
he's talking about cards that, like, when we're like, oh, that card's awesome, blah, blah, we're just previewing cards.
He just wants us to say the cards more often.
Previewing cards.
No, he wants us to say the card names more.
On air
so we're going to try and star
this is how our fights happen.
Names more.
He's going to hit me soon.
We don't fight. No,
don't hit me.
My hands are so soft it wouldn't hurt.
They're like pillows. Oh, that was pretty rough.
That's how you like it, though. Whenever Mist Syndicate Naga deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Mist Syndicate Naga.
Holy balls face, this is going in my ninja deck.
Is it?
You're making more ninjas, and then you have Yuriko. Every time a ninja hits, you get to reveal that many cards, and that many cards go into your hand. Yeah, this is going in that.
Good? Well, I mean, just because there isn't any ninjas. There's
well,
like 12.
No. It's not only... Well, there's a lot more now after this set.
True.
But... Not only that, but I mean, if you're able to get through, and a lot of my deck is built around giving all your blue creatures unblockable or whatever, if you're able to get through with those, you have that many more ninjas. That's the point of it.
Are you feeling it? The beer?
It tastes delicious.
It's strong, I think.
Oh, shit. Lowry's drunk. He's going to be really mean now. That's why he hit me.
Oh, he hit you.
But having more ninjas... hitting and you just keep making copies of it, like then that ninja hits and does the same thing that does.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes another.
Whenever
like if you can get that you get 2 more, and then the next turn you would get like 4 more, and then 8 more. Yeah.
Then you're going through your deck and killing everybody. Like this is a total must add for the ninja deck.
Okay.
Let's see. There's probably a couple more. Oh, we got that
Factor
one.
Fiction reprint and Rebuild reprint.
Then we got Scuttling Sliver. So more Sliver stuff. 2 and a blue, 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have 2 untap this creature. Tap 2, untap this creature.
That seems really cool. Mm-hmm. I like untapping stuff though.
Yeah,
I've clearly shown that in the podcast.
Yeah.
Next one. Tribute Mage, which is 2 colorless and a blue for a 2/2. Whenever Tribute Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 2. Reveal that card put it in your hand, then shuffle your library.
So what 2 mana cost things are we looking for?
Oh, I was thinking
Sword of the Meek?
Sword of the Meek? I mean, that is the picture that's in this picture.
Thopter Foundry?
Yeah, Thopter Foundry combo is bonks with this. So if you're playing Esper, this just makes the combo easier.
Which, by the way, you back up to Urza's. That's kind of when those cards started to spike a little bit, but because there is a combo with that. But those have a combo in themselves with a lot of cards.
Yeah, and also like if you just want to be not a jerk, you can go and just get your signets and talismans at like some solid ramp early on.
If you don't want to win, just go get some. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not what I said. Just like play nicely.
This one? Or we want to do that one?
We can skip that one.
Okay,
Do the
so it's kind of interesting. We got a card that has Hideaway that isn't a land. So it's Watcher for tomorrow. It's a 1 blue human wizard 2/1 has Hideaway. When this creature enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile one of them face down, put it basically underneath it. When it leaves the battlefield, put the exiled card into owner's hand. So this will be interesting because, especially for Commander, you go and look at your top 4 cards, put something huge under there, and the thing is you're going to try to get this thing killed if you don't have a sack engine in itself.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're just hitting somebody for 2 because they're not going to want to block because they don't want to see what that card is underneath. Most likely, you're going to want a sack engine.
I mean...
I can see in Modern where they're going to use this more because it's 2 damage pretty much going through the entire time. Otherwise, they're...
I feel like this is a bastardization of the Hideaway mechanic because those lands, you're able to cast it.
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking that this goes into your hand.
This is more like a delayed draw selection.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Impulse looks at the top 4 or 5 cards and put one of them in your hand. Or
that's why it's in the uncommon slot.
Yeah, but even so, like I think you have a common that's like 2 colorless and a blue that looks at the top 3 cards and put one of them in your hand. Like that's probably better because that's like a 2/3 in my mind.
So why did we talk about this card, Larry? You made me
because it has Hideaway on it.
It is interesting.
So I'm just bashing it at this point. I don't think this is a good card.
Is there anything else we want for?
Kind of do like the Pondering Mage.
Okay, go ahead.
Pondering Mage, 3 colorless blue. It's a 3/4 human wizard. Might be relevant. When Pondering Mage enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle your library, draw a card. So that is ponder on a wizard creature.
It even has the ponder art with it.
Yeah, ponder art. Like we get to see the guy that's looking at the ponder. He has like a covered face, and actually you get to like in the background of the second ponder, not the Lorwyn ponder. Like you do see that person like that face. You're moving on. Okay. I get it. It worked. All right, that's it for blue.
You didn't want to talk about that one? Wasn't that one they wanted to talk about?
I don't know. I don't remember this one. String of disappearances.
Oh, no. Maybe that wasn't it. I think when you
we
pointed
don't want to actually talk about it.
So we're going on to the next color, which we're only 2 colors. We're only 2 colors deep, and we are 50 minutes into this.
This is gonna be a long one.
All right, let's go kind of quick.
Buckle up.
Yawgmoth, Ran Physician, 2 black, legendary creature, human cleric, 2/4 protection from humans. Here's another long one and awesome one. Mm-hmm. Pay 1 life. Sacrifice another creature. Put a 1/1 -1/-1 counter on 1 up to 1 target creature and draw a card. You can tap 2, discard a card, and proliferate. So this works with a lot of freaking sweet cards.
So good.
And
it's so fun.
By itself works freaking awesome.
Now, okay, so one thing that you need to understand, like it cannot put a 1/1 -1 counter because it has protection from itself.
Well, it just says sacrifice another creature. I'll put it on an up to 1 target creature. Gotcha.
So it doesn't say another creature because it has protection from humans. It is a human, so thusly it can't target itself.
That's fine.
Yeah. No. It just you can be like, I can put -1/-1 counters on this for some stupid reason.
Yeah, why don't you just kill their stuff?
There are sometimes reasons that you do fun stuff, and that sounds like fun.
Putting it on itself?
What if they had a card that said,
what if you
destroy
just
all
cleared
creatures
the board?
with power 2? And then you're like, I'm going to give it -1/-1. You can't.
Larry, we should move on. This is a good card.
It is a good card.
I don't want you to keep trying to break it down.
Crumbling Ashes. Go through Shadowmoor block of black cards, and you'll find a bunch that work with
Racist.
it. No. No, Blowfly Infestation is really good. Like -1/-1.
Well, all I'm saying is, why not just put it on their creature?
What if they have...
No creatures? Well, then kill them with a 2/4 and all your other stuff that you have.
That's aggressive.
You're the one that when we played the other night, you said you just wanted to kill me, and everybody took it as you were going to murder me. It had nothing to do with the game. Larry was going to kill me.
This is not true.
Like, should we call Adam and make sure after the podcast?
Did anybody call?
Well, we're doing our podcast right now. I just got a text.
Doubt it. Cordial Vampire. That last one was Yawgmoth, a huge player in lore. Go check him out. Cordial Vampire. Black. It's a 1/1 vampire. Whenever Cordial Vampire or another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control.
Pretty crazy.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Edgar just got stronger.
Edgar, because he needs cards. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's good. That's all you need to know. Dead of Winter, 2 and 1 black sorcery. All non-snow creatures get -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of snow permanents you control. You sure you don't want to use those snow lands yet, Larry?
The Longest Night. I want to make that a card. Get that going. Yeah, no, that card's a sweet sweeper for any snow land.
Jon Snow.
Like,
you know nothing.
I guess the problem that I'm seeing is like, what deck am I having? There just isn't like enough snow creature support at this point.
But I guess that's what my point was with the lands is like, there's no downside to having them replaced.
Sure, it was still...
It gives you a bonus to cards that are now available to us.
Yep.
To just put snow-covered lands in instead of, basic lands. So, I don't know. Or your basic swamps.
I would want to take advantage of that, but there aren't really many, like...
They're $1 a land now, and so that's why it's like, am I really going to replace all my swamps in all my decks?
Go back to my Ice Age
snow-covered.
Yadas. All right. Next one. Endling, 2 colorless and a black. It's the end of the Morphling.
Is it the end?
Yep.
Is that all because they got the white one from Battle Bond?
Which was Brightling. Then you had Thornling for green from a set.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a long time ago.
Morphling was blue, and then... Torchling from Planar Chaos.
Endling's interesting. It's not like my favorite of them, but it does
I actually
things.
like how they're templated it. So it's a 3/3. Endling, or pay 1 black. Endling gains menace until end of turn, or or pay a black. Endling gains death touch until end of turn, and or pay a black. Endling gains undying until end of turn, which is if it dies and it doesn't have a 1/1 counter on it, it comes back into play with a 1/1 counter on it, and then you can pay a colorless, and or Endling gets +1/-1 or -1/+1 until end of turn.
Did all of them have the colorless for them?
Yes, they all had that was a thing. Just a lot of them had like colorless +1/-1, and then another one template of colorless -1.
They just made it one line.
Yeah. This making it one line is so much better because it just there's no point.
Yeah,
it's just ugly the other way.
It's interesting. I'm glad that they have them all done.
Well, I think it's pretty cool because if you give it menace, they have to block with 2, and then you can give it death touch, and it kills both those creatures no matter how big they are. And then if it is going to kill your thing, you can just it's going to come back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Make it bigger. It comes back as a 4/4.
Like I really like how this card works out. Zombie. It's a zombie, which is maybe
it's a shapeshifter, which is a thing.
I would that's that'd be cool if it was
changeling. Yeah,
but it's not.
No, because then it wouldn't probably just be black.
I'm gonna fucking tip stuff. I'm gonna flip tables.
You're drunk now. Yeah. This beer got you.
We're not done technically.
Is all the beer gone? Because I loved it so much, I want more. Oh, there is more. Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, it's like
that's really, not a lot.
Damn you, Scuba Steve. All right, next one is the black of the forces. So we have Force of Despair. 1 colorless, 2 black, instant. If it's not your turn, exile black card from your hand. Destroy all creatures that entered the battlefield this turn.
I like it.
Interesting.
I like it.
It's better than the white one.
For sure.
You had to think about it for a second. You're like, what did the white one do? Oh, yeah.
+1/+1 at instant speed.
Sweet.
All the time. Yeah. No, this one is really... I mean, I can see that you look at it and be like pretty narrow.
Yeah.
But discarding a card is...
I mean, this just...
if you have to... But like just paying 3 black to do that is pretty good.
Think about games that are won. Like we'll talk about next week with one of our games that you potentially would have had won if it didn't get countered. But all those 4/4s that we're going to come in and fight from what's it called?
Azura's Predation,
which I have in my wolf deck, which I never cast, but you cast in yours.
I got mine countered.
But think if that would have resolved. And you had this in your hand, you just go
okay,
boop.
all right.
Yeah, then it's all gone. Which, yeah,
when somebody, if you play against people that have turns where they're like creature,
which is a lot of my turn. Like that's how I win games normally.
And then
you're
like you have 1 turn or else you're done, or you're even losing this turn. Then you can just be like, okay, kill everything, get that over with. And like in Feather, if I have like Monastery Mentor in play, or like you can, or if you're making mass amount of tokens on a turn, then you can just be like, okay, get rid of half your army. Like, that's pretty solid at instant speed, I think.
Yep. No, I dig this one, and it's only $5 right now. I'm hoping this one gets down pretty low because this could be a use in a lot of black decks because that's something you just hold on to. Where it's kind of like a settle the wreckage in a way kind of thing, because normally with Commander it's that combo kind of thing. Well, settle wreckage I think is a little better, but being able to have all your mana tapped out, that's a thing. Like if it's a bluff thing now, I like that these are there, that you could be like, yeah, I'm all tapped out, because that's one of the big questions that we always ask. Are you all tapped out? You all tapped out? Okay, I'm about to win the game because you're all tapped out. The fact that they have all these in there, you're all tapped out. Well, yeah, I can just exile this out of my hand.
Totally, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
it's
tapped
a bluff.
out. Oh, +1/+1 for all my creatures. Boom.
Drop the mic, bitch.
Boom. Force of Despair is much better.
Yeah. Next one.
Plague Engineer, which is 2 colorless, a black. It's a 2/2. It's a carrier. Probably air conditioning unit.
STDs.
Jesus.
It's a carrier of STDs.
That's a lot more depressing than
what
I was.
It has all these things coming out of it. It totally has
just
STDs.
A Phyrexian. Like, let them be.
Yeah, that's...
Came from a really tough neighborhood. It's 2/2. Death Touch. As Plague Engineer enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type, your opponent's control, get -1/-1. That's solid.
Kill tokens.
You name human or soldier or goblin or merfolk? No.
No, 2/2s typically.
Stretch.
Sapperlanes.
Sapperlings.
All right. How do I say this? Dredgescape. There we go. I was like, what? Dregs? That doesn't have an E there. Dredgescape? Would you call it that? Sliver? Dregscape?
Maybe it's Dregs Cape. Because dregs is a word. That's like you're drinking the dregs of a beer.
I think you just made that up.
No, that's a thing.
Look it up. Anyways, sliver cards. Wait. Each sliver creature card in your graveyard has Unearth 2. Unearth is you can tap 2, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, and then exile it at the end of your...
I personally really like Unearth.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sidrus, Trader King. That's Grixis, but like gives all of your creatures Unearth, black and 2 colorless. I love that card.
Oh yeah, you use that quite a bit.
I used to. I had a deck with it for a little bit, but I do really like that one. Siege Gang Lieutenant, which is
Sling Gang.
Sling, damn it. Because there's Siege Gang Commander. That's what I was thinking.
You were hoping.
Similar. 3 colorless and a black for a 1/1 goblin. When Sling Gang Lieutenant, they did this on purpose, enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, and then just sacrifice a goblin. Target player loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life.
Which you can do this with itself as well.
Yeah, and instant speed, and no mana, and for free would mean no mana. But So, but like this card is, in my opinion, just as good, if not better, than Siege Gang Commander.
Yeah.
Now, you can't kill creatures. You can't just like
It's
machine gun
hitting
creatures
players.
off that way.
It'd be nice if it was all opponents, but that's
life
fine.
gain in a goblin deck is pretty rare.
Plus, there's a goblin on a slingshot. Who doesn't love that picture?
Read the flavor text.
Freshly promoted to first rock. Zaz was eager. I thought it said Kager. Eager to make an impact. Let me read that again. Freshly promoted to first rock, Zaz was eager to make an impact. There.
Get that? Yeah. Impact because he's a rock and boom, impact.
I got it.
That's good shit.
Nice. I don't know if I really want to talk about the next one. Do you want to talk about it?
We can skip it.
All right. So I do like this one, though.
Throat Seeker.
Hey, you read the Siege Gang, you bastard.
You're right.
Vampire Ninja. It's a 3/2 unblocked attacking
That'd be a
ninjas
really weird
you
name
control.
for a creature would be Vampire Ninja.
Yeah.
Unblocked
attacking ninjas
you
you
to the
control.
party, Vampire Ninja.
God damn it, let me finish it. Is this what it's like to be you when you read cards and I interrupt you?
No.
Unblocked attacking ninjas you control.
I do it much more smoothly.
Have lifelink. Which that's the big thing that Ninjas was missing was a life link. You're losing life. There's no way to gain life with Ninjas. Now you do, and it's awesome.
It's not that good.
That's awesome.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Are you okay with Ninjas not having ninjutsu?
Yeah, that's kind of. There are a couple of them that are in this. This I will play.
Sure, but I mean, like, are you okay with it? Like, that's kind of like
their thing.
Yeah.
Like
having the mechanic, in my opinion, is kind of important.
But
it didn't sneak in. It's just a normal creature. Why
here's
is it
the thing.
ninja?
Here's the thing. Are the ninjutsu ninjas just ninjas?
Huh?
Like they don't have another subtype to their creature type.
Sure,
this is a vampire ninja.
Every ninja before this set had ninjutsu.
But
what makes this card?
What
a
I'm
ninja?
saying is the ones that have ninjutsu. If we go back, it's in blue. They were just ninjas, weren't they? This is a vampire ninja. I know we have a zombie ninja coming up in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the blue. Let me get to the blue ninja.
It's a Naga ninja.
Naga. Oh yeah, not gonna work here anymore.
I really shouldn't laugh that hard.
All right. Yeah. No.
I'm pretty sure they have other creature types. They're like, this is my personality, and then my night job is a ninja.
Party in the front, work in the back, business in front.
Yeah.
Party in the back.
What makes this card a ninja? Like that's my question. Like, it's because it affects ninjas like that. I feel like ninjas should have ninjutsu. Just IMO or IMHO.
Well, you know what? I'm going to write it in now, and it's going to have ninjutsu, one black.
Card. It's damaging stuff.
It's uncommon. It's all right.
We kind of do finance. I don't think you should do that.
Yeah. Touche.
I highly suggest against that.
All right.
Mind Rake. It's 2 colorless and a black for a common sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards, which is Mind Rot. But you can overload this for a black and a colorless, which means every player discards 2 cards, which is way more powerful.
Weird that the overload doesn't include you.
No, it does include you.
But that's what I mean. Like normally the overload doesn't include you. This does include you.
Because most of the time overload spells say like target opponent or a creature you don't control or something. So most overload cards don't affect you. This one would. So you would have to discard 2 cards. Just find it interesting, and also just 2 mana. Everybody discards 2 cards. Pretty yeah. What's the enchantment that has like effects for
Waste Not?
Yeah, Waste Not would be sweet, and Geth's Grimoire would be really sweet with this card as well.
Drawing some cards off of that.
Yeah.
Yumezawa's Charm, not the Jit, but this is sweet because it has all the abilities of the Jit, and it's black and 1 colorless instant. Choose one. Target creature gets 2/2 until end turn. Target creature gets
I totally
-1.
didn't see that before.
What?
I'm an idiot.
You didn't realize
I didn't realize it was
that he's holding the JIT?
Well, I know he's holding the JIT. I just didn't realize it had
All the abilities
choose
of
the
JIT?
abilities of JIT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
So yeah, it's the +2/+2 or -1/-1, or you gain 2 life. So JIT, we have talked about, is an awesome card. It's kind of sweet that they put it on.
And by the way, this
spell.
common does not count as the charm cycle for Archmage's charm. This does not count as the black charm.
Are you sure?
Yes. Once a common, once a rare. That's
It's a charm.
Jesus.
No, I'm at
And I'm not going to complain about this not being a charm because, I mean, if you obviously look at the guy's face, he has plenty of charm. So I don't think I don't think it's for the charm cycle. I think it's saying this dude has some charm.
Yeah, he does.
He will.
He's a ladies' man.
Yeah, clearly.
He is a ladies' man.
I like.
Or a man's man.
I wish I had that smirk.
Either or, doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, for me.
On to red. And we have a lot more to go. We haven't even. We're now halfway. I know.
The other ones are shorter. We're talking about that one. Aria of Flame, 2 colorless.
Wait,
and a
Arya
red.
from Game of Thrones?
No. that was a look of blankness right there.
I can't wait till we are recording these, like until it's a video, like image. All right, go ahead.
Aria of Flame.
It's Arya.
2 colorless and a red enchantment. When Aria of Flame enters the battlefield, each opponent gains 10 life. That sounds bad. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a verse counter on Aria of Flame. Then it deals damage equal to the number of verse counters on it to target player or planeswalker.
So the cool thing about this with Commander is you cast and be like, hey, I'm giving you guys all life. You can't be mad at me.
That doesn't work. It shouldn't. If it works, if somebody's like, thank you for giving me 10 life.
The thing is it isn't
gullible.
It
That's
isn't
what it is.
All around damage. You have to target.
Yeah.
So you can be like, don't worry, I won't hit you.
I'm gonna hit the other person that I gave 10 life to.
Right. And your planeswalker.
Oh my God.
Not you, your planeswalker.
No, this is not very good. This is bulk.
You think?
You're handing. Okay, you're in a 4-player game. You're handing out 30 life. That's really
all right.
hard. You're not giving.
You became the good guy. You just gave everybody.
You don't gain.
I
that
know.
life
You
yourself.
just gave
If you
everybody
gain
10 life.
as well, that'd be bomb.
Niv Mizzet will love this card.
No, it's not. It's giving out way too much life.
Niv Mizzet will love this card.
This is like end game. And
Avengers?
you're about to combo off. Oh, no, I mean, even if it's down to you and another opponent, just 1v1 at the end of a game, like, do you want to be like you're both at 10? Do you want to put them to 20?
Sure.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
I won't play with it, but it's an awesome card.
It's an interesting card.
It'd be nice if it was target creature on there as well.
Yeah,
because then you could actually pick out
creatures.
things.
You can't like just. Yeah.
All right, Force of Rage. I get all the forces. This one is 1, 2 red, instant. Not your turn. Exile a red card from your hand. Create 2 3/1 elemental creature tokens with trample and haste. Sacrifice those at the beginning of your next upkeep. Which is interesting.
No, that's what I was saying about Aria of Flame.
Interesting.
Interesting means not very good.
Interesting. This is better than the 1/1, 1+1.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's your next upkeep. So if you're playing a 4-person game, player next to you attacks you, you drop 2 of these out, 3 1s, block, and somehow...
They don't have indestructible. They die. They're 3 1s.
What if you have what's her name, Angel of Hope out? So
again,
they're
your face, you're like, what if? Like, what if I did Force of Rage and then Force of White one that gets +1/+1?
There you go. They survive.
They just spend 4 mana to get 4 2s out that didn't
or
last
you just discarded 2
you don't
cards.
get to attack with them. Like if it was like your next
in my
untap
scenario,
stuff.
you have 15 cards in your hands. So you just discarded one of each.
This is not. This is such a weird. Like it's not even interesting. It's just like weird. Moving on. God, that was Force of Rage. Don't pick them up.
Well, doesn't that a reprint?
No, it is not.
What is the Goblin, the other one that does the artifact thing Goblin, they had that promo. I sold that one for $90. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What's that one called?
This is the modern fixed version of
it.
So Goblin Engineer, colorless and a red. Goblin Artificer, it's a 1/2. When Goblin Engineer enters the battlefield, you may search your library for any artifact card and put that into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Then red, tap for an ability, sacrifice an artifact, return target artifact card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
This is pretty sick.
Yeah. I think just like a tutor into the graveyard for...
Then you sacrifice one of your servo tokens or whatever to bring that to... Excuse me.
Well, I don't... Like, you can, like, in Commander, like, trash for treasure the next turn. And just sacrifice an artifact to bring back any huge artifact you want into play.
Yeah.
Because it can be any artifact that you're putting into your graveyard.
But you can't get anything. It has to be 3 or less.
For this, but you have other cards that bring stuff back. You could, like, Doretti and sacrifice an artifact to bring whatever you...
Just with this in itself, it can do damage. You know, you can get some pretty good stuff. I mean, if you don't have your Soul Ring yet, if you don't have your...
Yeah,
you don't have your Mana Crypt.
You
don't
could use
have
it as ramp early game or just devastating at the end. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. There's some flexibility there.
Any of those swords, the swords are pretty sweet. You know,
that's a good point.
We got 2 new swords in this too, by the way.
Wheel
foreshadowing. Oh, how the hell do I say his name?
Is it your turn?
Fasilic Mon?
No, what are you? Saffron Olive?
I wish.
It's a P. There's no H after that. Pashalik Mon.
I was trying to silent P.
Ashlick Mon? I don't want to Ashlick.
Yeah, Asslick.
I say that.
Asslick Mons. Hey, it's Asslick Mons. I'm just... That's 11:30 already. This is going to be a late night. All right, so it's 2 and a black. Or black.
2 and a red. It is a red.
2 and a red.
In the red section.
Legendary creature, Goblin Warrior, 2/2. Whenever Asslick Mons or another goblin you control dies, Asslick Mons deals 1 damage to any target. Sacrifice a goblin, create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Or tap 3 and 1, sacrifice a goblin to create 2. So that's kind of
3 and 1 red.
3 and
sacrifice
1.
a goblin, create 2 1/1.
So that's pretty sweet because you're killing 1, getting 2, killing 1, getting 2.
And being able to deal 1 damage to any target is pretty nice as well.
And quite often there is infinite mana things that happen in Commander, and if you have that, then you have infinite creatures with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about, Vern?
Well, you kill the board. It's not just infinite creatures because you're sacking. Sacking.
Touche, salesman. I forgot about that part.
So it's just, it can be just a win con in its own. Mm-hmm. And I really like how it like mixes a couple of different goblin ideas together.
Yeah, it's like the ass and the licking and of Mon. Ass lick Mon.
I'm going to try and move on from that.
This next one's sweet. I really like this one.
Yeah, that's probably better. Let's move on. Plain Bound Accomplice. It's 2 colorless and a red.
Do you think he licks ass?
I mean, the Planeswalker is behind the guy.
Looks like an ass licker. Mon.
No. He does not look like an ass licker. He looks like he has a cat tongue, and that would be very painful. Just rip your palm right up.
Your tar star.
It's a 1/3 creature. I actually thought this was an enchantment for a really long time.
Yeah, I actually did too.
So you can... Jesus. This is why people stop listening to us. You can pay a red. You may put a Planeswalker card from your hand into the battlefield, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step.
So there's some crazy stuff, and this is why Cloudstone Curio, which was Larry's pick from like a year ago, is now spiking because of that. Because Cloudstone,
whenever a non-artifact permanent comes into play, you get to return another non-artifact permanent in play that shares a type
with it.
into
So
your
if you have
hand.
2 planeswalkers, one
pay
that's
a red,
creating
put a
a
huge one
mana
into
ability,
play.
and then it's just
Oh,
infinite.
yeah,
Boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
You
boom,
can do
boom, 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 boom.
too.
Well, I'm just hitting stuff. But see, then you don't need to cast the planeswalker, even if it's a high casting cost. You just need to tap 1 and 1 that creates a
Put it
mana
in play,
ability.
do that, make it a mana ability, put another one in play, do that thing, just go back and forth.
Yeah, so this,
Chandra, Torch of Defiance is perfect.
which I'm glad they put this in red, because if they would have put this in any of the other colors, it
Green?
makes Atraxa so broken. Like, you
Oh,
know
that's
what
a
I'm
really
saying?
good point.
Like,
I hadn't thought about that.
so it's giving planeswalkers, red is kind of like the redheaded redheaded stepchild.
No, I totally get it. Very, very.
But it needed more things that benefit red for planeswalkers, and this is kind of a cool thing to add into it.
But just like cheating out like a Karn or a Ugin
Yeah.
or like Garruk, the huge one that like just assassinates planeswalkers.
Who's Garruk, the huge one?
Garruk,
Just a picture of a dong.
Yeah, it's a
It's
porno.
Garruk's dong.
It's gonna be Netflix's new porno coming.
Netflix has pornos now?
Have you seen Sex, Love, and Robots?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Boom.
Garruk's dong. Scratch what we said earlier in the beginning of the episode. It's not meat force. You got to put in the YouTube comments. Garruk's dong. I hope at some point we get enough like listeners that people go back to our old episodes and they're like, why is there a bunch of Garruk dongs in this comment section?
That's pretty good.
Stupid. All right. It's a good card. I'm going to try to get a lot of
a good card. Oh, I hope you stayed around this long.
There's something about your basement. I cry in here more than I've ever cried during our podcast.
That's the carbon monoxide.
It's the radon. Damn radon. Oh, all right. Spiteful Sliver. I think I'm on the next one.
Sure.
2 and a red. It is a 2/2 Sliver creature you control. Have whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target creature or target player or planeswalker. So, God, Sliver's just got a lot of freaking tools.
Yeah, no, Sliver's definitely powered up. That's solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The next one's pretty sweet too, actually.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
Even though I just said that cycling doesn't have enough utility. But okay, so Tectonic Reformation, colorless and a red enchantment rare. Each land card in your hand has cycling mountain. And this card also has cycling to colorless, which cycling, discard that card, draw a card.
So like, I actually see this going in a lot of red decks because think late game of it getting this. You don't need the land necessarily anymore, and you need to draw cards. It's like, oh shit, I just drew a land. All right, cycle, drop 1, draw another card. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a land again. Drop 1, draw another card. Like that's pretty damn good.
Well, just think about putting this in like Niv Mizzet Perun. You're just like drawing cards.
That's a good point.
And
yeah.
for 1 red mana, discard a land, which is definitely a thing like a red does.
Yeah,
is willing to do.
I think this is actually really good. I think it
solid in Goblin decks.
It doesn't have to be a cycling deck. This goes in a deck. It's a good early, late game type of thing. You're probably not going to use it necessarily in the beginning because you want to get your land drops in and everything. But once you get to mid to late game and you have your mana base set, this is perfect for that.
But even there's like land returning from your graveyard shenanigans that you can do with that, and we've talked about. Although
well, Lord Windgrace is red, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. Gitrog doesn't work.
Yeah,
Lord Windgrace would work with this card, but like Gitrog doesn't because it's black green.
But anything where you just like World Shaper, when it dies, bring all lands back into play tapped or whatever. Then you also have the sorcery that brings all of your lands back, and like this card seems like a really, really good enabler.
And at the worst, it's cycling 2. If you really don't want to play this, it's early game and you need to draw cards and get land or something like that.
Colorless is kind of big too.
Yeah.
Because like if it was like a red and a colorless or whatever, and you're like mana screwed or like color screwed, that could be important.
I could have used that when I was trying to do.
You could have.
Yeah.
Maybe you should add more cycling into your Tolsmere deck.
Next is Alpine Guide, 2 and a red, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a mountain card. Doesn't have to be basic. Put that on the battlefield
Basic
tap,
mountain
then
bitch.
shuffle your library. Its downside is it has to attack each combat if able. And when it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice a mountain. Doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the card you found. You could sacrifice a basic mountain if you went and found like a Taiga, or let's go cheaper and do Stomping Grounds or something like that.
Yeah.
You can sacrifice your basic mountain. You still have the color fixing.
This feels pretty good in mono red, or like any non-green red. Like a red-blue deck, this could help out in.
A non-green. So the two lands that I just gave examples of, this seems good in. It was like everything that Adam just said, it sounds good in, except for what he just said.
It's probably good in a green deck too.
Oh, you're such an asshole. All right. We have another sliver.
This is a problem when I don't listen to you.
Yeah.
So
we just talked about this last week, and you're like, yeah, I started actually listening to Adam again. And
so like at the beginning of the podcast, like the first 10, 15 episodes, like it was just concentrating on what I was going to say, and so like I would say something, and then I'd say the same thing.
I was like, yeah, I just said that. Larry's like, oh,
so now I don't say what you say. I just contradict what you say.
Make it so that listeners hear it and they're like, well, he just said Adam was an asshole, but he didn't really say Adam knows what he's talking about. Everything but green. All right, why don't you talk about the next sliver, you dick? I know. I'm like, I want more beer.
I could get us more.
I feel like I have to sleep over tonight. Except the boys are going crazy. All right.
Hollowhead Sliver. 2 colors and a red sliver. 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have tap, discard a card, draw a card. That's great card draw.
Perfect.
Wow.
Anything else? Oh, yeah.
This card is so interesting.
Is it throw it? Throws?
I think it's just throws of chaos.
So it doesn't like do anything as a card.
But what does it do?
It's 3 and a red sorcery. Cascade, which you reveal cards until you find something that's less than 4 mana.
So it's 3 or less.
And then it has retrace. So the
which
next
is discard a land card, pay
do it
4,
again.
Cascade.
Yeah. So it's the card is just Cascade. Like, is there a Cascade just card?
No, they all do something, and this one does something and has retrace.
Yeah, exactly. There's 2 like, what is it? Evergreen, not evergreen, because it's not a ability.
But I mean, like 2 abilities.
Yeah, but the card doesn't do anything. It's like, all right, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop. Like, that's kind of the thing it does. I don't know. It's interesting.
I think you.
I like it.
Put this in Yidris, Maelstrom, yada yada.
That I got.
I don't remember the rest of his name.
It's interesting. I'll say that.
I think it's gonna be fun. I don't think it's gonna be good, but I think it's gonna be fun.
I think. Oh, you like that guy?
So there's.
I love the name of it. That's my favorite.
Shenanigans. Oh. Colorless and a red sorcery, destroy target artifact, and then it has dredge 1, and that's the part that's interesting. Is I think Ancient Grudge is a pretty decent card. It's like instant, destroys target artifact, has flashback for a green. This, whenever you draw a card, like if you just have to start killing artifacts, you draw a card, put that, you dredge that 1 card, put Shenanigans back in your hand, destroy a card or artifact, and then move on with your game plan.
This is a pretty much must add in red, like a lot of decks.
I think this is really good.
I think the only downfall is it doesn't have the instant thing, but that's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
But being able to continuously do this throughout the game is awesome. You play this early, destroy a soul ring that's out there.
I think this is good enough not to have to be in like a graveyard deck, even though it'd be better in a graveyard deck.
Yeah, it's throw your top card because there's something else that's another threat, and this is a must-add in a lot of red.
Really, really good. All right, so that's gonna end up being it for red.
Green. So first one is Hex Drinker.
I actually don't even care about this card.
You don't like it? One green for a 2/1, level up for one colorless. When it's a level 3 to 7, it has protection from instants, and it's a 4/4. When it's a 8+ protection from everything. I don't think we're going to use this as much, but I can see Modern maybe using this a little bit more, or other formats. This one's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So Unbound Flourishing, 2 colorless and a green for a mythic enchantment. Whenever you cast a permanent spell with a mana cost that contains X, double the value of X.
So silly.
What?
It's so silly.
Wait, there's more.
What?
This is the commercial for us right now. But there's more.
Do you ever have trouble
getting your X up?
I was gonna go erection.
That was
good.
Well, mine was more. That was like a depressing sleeping with your ex thing.
Sleeping with your ex?
Yeah. Do you have problems getting your ex up? They don't talk to me anymore. Don't worry about it. Second part. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or activated abilities, if that spell's mana cost has the ability activation cost contains X, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new targets for the copy.
This is going to be a long podcast. It already is a really long.
This seems really cool. I mean,
so
this goes
covers
in Roshin Meander.
It covers your permanents, and it covers your instant and sorcery abilities to basically double of each of them.
This card's way too expensive currently, in my opinion, at $17.
I agree.
What decks are you putting it in?
I agree that it's expensive for a spec-wise, but at the same point, I don't, because I think this is going to settle in over 20 at some point.
It doubles. It goes in Roshin Meander. Like, are you?
It doubles all X spells.
There just aren't that many that are like playable. You go non-X spell tribal.
Red stuff.
Red stuff.
Well, like, just saying, use Fireball as an example, but I'm saying use any of that stuff doubles it.
I definitely would use a card that I don't use as an example. You're going red-green, but you're going red-green. You have to have this in a red deck.
Because you wouldn't.
Comet Storm.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Comet Storm.
Exactly.
So, hey, you used Comet Storm to win a game
with it.
We're giving all these foreshadowing stuff for a week from now. But I think this is for three for an enchantment that, I mean, all the Hydras do that. But red and green Hydras, they're both. That's what it is focused on, is the Hydras.
Sure.
Think of Genesis Wave with this. Double
Put all the cards in your library into play.
Pretty much.
Put the top 30.
Yeah.
For 20.
It's a pretty sweet card.
It is a really sweet card.
I agree with you. Don't jump in and go, I'm buying this for 17, but I can see this one getting over 20 in the future. I mean, especially in a set like this, it's a $200+ set to get in. There's not going to be a lot of them out there for a mythic here.
Sure.
And it's going to be a commander card. So
Unbound Flourishing for your X-Spell tribal decks.
So we have two of them that are bear stuff here, but I'll do the one that's not as fun, but it's... Is it Ayula?
No, it's definitely not that. I think it's Ayula's.
Ayula? Influence. 3 green. Enchantment. Discard a land card. Create a 2/2 bear token. And why is that good? Because the next card.
I was going to say, this should have been called Seismic Bear. Seismic Assault is 3 red, discard a land card, deal 2 damage.
Yeah, but you have to go with because of what the next card is.
Ayula, Queen among Bears.
What? They're connected.
Yeah, so a colorless and a green for a legendary creature, bear. That is a 2/2. Whenever another bear enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. Put 2 1/1 counters on target bear, or target bear you control fights target creature you don't control.
So the interesting thing about this is the fighting part. you don't have to do the bear that came into play. So you can do a bear that you've already beefed up and like, all right, a bear came into play. That bear is getting to... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then at some point you're like, all right, another bear came in and now that bear is going to fight this one.
And I had originally read it as that bear either fights or gets...
Because then it's like, oh, that's stupid because most bears are 2/2s and they're coming in and they're going to die. Well, it's like, well, actually, no, you can choose the bear.
Yeah. So Bearscape is like an $11 card now, but whatevs.
Bears went crazy because they're a niche kind of...
I'd have to relook at a lot of it, but most of them probably didn't go up too much. But Bearscape did.
They did go up quite a bit. Yeah, they sold out pretty damn quick.
I know they sold out, but did they actually go up? Because like a lot of them are like common, uncommons. Like I can see a lot of people...
They're old. A lot of the stuff is old. Some of the stuff that's really good, that will work with it. But it is bears. Like you and I were talking, and I was like, it's bears. It's a niche kind of thing that people are going to go for it, but I don't really want to spec on it and go for it. So we kind of, which is weird because I like going for the tribal stuff like that, but it was like,
well, it's clearly obvious, but there just isn't any interesting bears.
Yeah.
Like the only one would be your commander.
Yeah.
And everything else is basically like a 2/2 and however big it grows.
The deck is... This is what it's going to be. There isn't going to be a lot of variations. It's green,
also true.
And you're not going to be able to go much further away from bears. So it's like, all right, everybody has the same cards, same deck.
And I'm impressed that we made it through that entire card without any bear puns. Collector Oath.
You just did the other one, you bastard. You just keep taking everything.
But I'm moving on because I want to make sure we're right.
The funny thing is I hear a lot of people talk about this and they call them oofs. I'm like, how do they not know it's an oaf? I'm the one that pronounces everything wrong, but...
is this an oaf?
I would think it's
I would assume it. Oof.
It's like an oaf.
It's not a word, it's like a reaction to...
Oofta.
Oofta. And that's not even how you spell oofta.
Not at all. It's an oaf.
Oofta.
One green, 2/2. Activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated. Fuck you, Soul Ring.
This could have been decent in my Esther deck that had like one artifact in it, which would be Soul Ring. So like if you just have a deck that doesn't have a lot, like green white, not a ton of enchantments, it's a really good.
Get this for your toolbox because it's definitely a card that you'll use when you're not using a Soul Ring or whatever. When does that happen?
But I mean the odds of getting it all the time is slim. Did we talk about?
Yeah, we did. We did talk about that. We didn't talk about that one.
Of Vigor. 2 colorless, 2 green instant. It's if you discard a land card or a green card not on your turn, you can cast it rather than paying its mana cost. Destroy up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. I think it's pretty good.
Better than the 1+1. Better than the 3 ones. But then I think the other one's better.
Force of Despair. I think I like Force of Vigor, like being able to just hit 2 artifacts at instant speed. Solid. Genesis is getting a reprint.
Did we talk about Sasaya?
We did not.
Sasaya, Weatherlight Captain, 2, 1 white, 2/2. For your commander, it's going to be every single color because of its abilities here. Legendary creature, human soldier. When it let's say gets 1+1 for each color among other legendary permanents you control. Then you can tap every single color, one of each. Search your library for a legendary permanent with converted mana cost less than Sasaya's power. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library.
So how I read this is it can't go above. So it's a 2/2, can't get more than +5/+5.
7/7.
So 7/7. That's how you read it. It's not like if you have like 2 white legends, it wouldn't get +2/+2. It's
for each color among other legendary permanents. Yeah, so 7/7.
7/7's tops.
Deck searcher, deck tutor for every
deck tutor into play. I think it's a really interesting card.
It's a cool commander, a 5-color commander.
I think it's way too open.
You talking about her as a person? I know her. That shot is very revealing.
Stop.
She maybe had babies.
I don't want to do this
anymore. You're talking about her opening.
I was. I think this could be another like Planeswalker commander.
Oh, Yeah.
Like 5-color planeswalker, because you can just put any planeswalker from your library into play for 5.
Legendary permanent.
Not any, but
that's a good point.
Most. Like you couldn't do Ugin because that's at 8.
Yeah.
But most planeswalkers
You could do
are under
new
7 or
Ugin.
100. You could. You could. It wouldn't add to her +1/+1 though.
No.
Because it's colorless.
But if you're casting new Ugin, they're pretty much at the top of what you can do.
Pretty much.
One more. All right, let's move through these. We are so freaking long.
Yeah. So Three's
wish
Company.
She said that.
Llanowar Tribe. It's green, green, green for a 3/3. You tap it, add 3 green mana. It is 3 Llanowar elves drinking, and they're just hanging out, and they're like, hey, let's add green mana to this party.
That's pretty sweet. I like it. I do like this card, though. I do want to talk about that one.
I do.
Nantucket Cultivator. 3 and a green insect druid 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, discard any number of land cards, put that many 1/1 counters on it, and then draw that many cards. So late game, this is awesome. Get rid of the lands that are in your hand if you have them. Even for your land going in, Gitrogs or your Windgraces. It's a sweet freaking card to have because you're discarding it, drawing cards from Gitrog, and then going in the discarding it, and then also drawing more cards. It's pretty sick. Get out of those. That guy?
Yeah, we could do that one. Tempered Sliver, 2 colorless and a green for a 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it.
Bigger slivers. Sweet.
Just what we need.
Web Weaver Changeling.
We can skip that one.
Skip it? All right, then we move on to that. There's a bear. We don't care. Oh, I like that guy. Sure. So Spring Bloom Druid, 2 and a green, 1/1, and it has Harrow ability, which is when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice a land. If you do, you may search your library up to 2 basic lands, put them in the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. It's pretty sweet to get through that. And then
I kind of want to do so Weather the Storm is 1 green and a colorless instant. You gain 3 life, but it has Storm, which seems really cool. Like it definitely kills a lot of like storm techniques where they're like dealing you 1 or 2 damage per storm. They're like, boom, gain 3 life. You don't kill me. It's a
be cool against a storm deck.
Yeah. Is that what I was saying?
No, I'm just saying.
That's what you said.
I'm just saying it'd be good against the storm deck.
Same thing, yeah.
Just they cast all their stuff and they're like, okay, well I gain how much life after that?
Yeah. That seems good.
But we don't see a lot of storm decks in Commander, but I think it's an interesting card. All right, so then we move into the artifacts. We got Mox Tantalite.
Definitely Tantalite. Tantalite is a real mineral. BT dubs.
Oh.
But it's just to spend 3.
Then you get to add 1 color of any mana to your mana pool.
I'm glad I get to talk about this one.
Well, I get the next sword, biatch.
The other one's probably better. Sword of Sinew and Steel. 3 colorless artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from black and from red. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target planeswalker and up to 1 target artifact. Equipped for 2. Sword of Sinew and Steel. Planeswalker ability seems narrow, but
destroying
you're
an
always
artifact.
going to be able to get rid of an artifact.
Yeah.
Protection from red, I think, is huge.
Can I say one thing that's interesting about it is like it doesn't have the different abilities that the other swords did. I think both of these do the same thing.
What do you mean?
Where it was always like completely 2 different things of what each color did. You know what I'm saying? Like the one that I used for Tulsimir, you make a 2/2 and the person discards the top 10. Then one is gain 3 life and is it discard a card or something like that? I don't
bring
know.
a creature back.
And then you have one that's discard a card and
all your lands.
So they're not going together. Where both of these, where I'll talk about Sword of Truth and Justice, it's the same thing. 2/2 protection from white and blue. when it deals damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control, then proliferate. So they're working together. That one's a little more different, but this one's like destroying. It's like the same exact thing. It's not like Black's thing that destroys planeswalkers, and Red is the one that destroys. Well, Red does destroy artifacts.
Yeah,
but Black isn't known for destroying planeswalkers.
Well, with Elder Spell, it is now.
It is now.
Boom.
But it's kind of interesting because all the other swords were like not going hand in hand.
Sure. And I also think
I like them. I'm not saying I don't like them.
I'm used to I liked the other swords because it was like 1 and 2 mana common abilities tacked on to like a mythic or rare.
Mm-hmm.
So like the one where you're saying gain 3 life, bring a creature back to your hand from your graveyard. That's Healing Solve and Raise Dead. 2 1 mana common spells tacked onto one ability. Like that, or Light and Shatter, the blue-red one. Draw a card, deal 2 damage. That's Shock and a couple different cards that draw a card. One card. That's kind of what was going on. Mirrodin Prestige kind of changed that kind of thing. Like Mill 10 is like Mind Sculpt and creating a 2/2 token.
Is Proliferate considered a blue thing?
Yeah, that is.
It is.
I would say it's
more so blue.
What were you thinking?
No, I'm just wondering because the 1+1 counter, it's a white thing.
That's a racist.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I like the swords a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think I love all the swords that they have. It just was kind of odd.
Do you think we're gonna get 3 to fill it up here soon?
At some point, Modern Horizons.
Okay, 2. Nostradamus. At some point. Well, yeah, no shit.
What your question was, do you think we're going to get 3? And I answered. I said at some point. What was I supposed to do?
Not answer. If that was going to be your answer.
I don't know.
Scrapyard Recombiner. 3 colorless 0/0. Modular 2. So like if it dies, you get to put 2 1/1 counters on an artifact creature you control. You can tap it, sacrifice an artifact, search your library for a construct card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library.
It's going for Arcbound Ravager decks.
For sure.
All right, and then we got all the talismans.
Yeah, the talismans cycle. I'm very happy about this.
Which what they are is you tap 2 and you can tap them for a colorless, or if you want to do a color, you can depending on the color that they're doing. So that's pretty sweet for Commander, for everything actually. It's pretty damn sweet. Then we have Birthing Bows. Yeah, throw them bows.
Exactly.
Luda 3, and it's an artifact. Tap 4.
Now he's gonna sue us.
Tap it. Create a 2/2 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. That's pretty sweet.
I think all of it is pretty.
All tribal stuff will work with that.
Fine with it. There's Cunning Evasion. Colorless and a blue enchantment. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand.
So good in friggin' ninjutsu.
Yeah, it seems interesting at the very least. Like it's I think I can see that doing well in like ETB decks.
ETB.
Enter the battlefield decks, or just getting your ninjas back if they end up being blocked, or
it saves them. That's the nice thing is you're instead of your creature dying.
Can you if they block your ninja, return that back to your hand, and any creatures that are unblocked, ninjutsu them back into play and return those creatures back to your hand? I think you can. So you attack with a ninja. I don't
think so. No.
Block your ninja.
Because it says whenever I guess it depends on the stack here. Now, if anybody knows the answer, you can send this to us. Like
I'm pretty sure it's whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to your hand.
Correct. But the thing is what ninjutsu says is, or whenever a creature is not blocked.
No. It says you can pay ninjutsu cost to put it into play and return an unblocked creature to your hand.
Yeah, but then we're already past the point of that.
Because damage isn't being dealt yet.
No, I know, but this is saying block, so you're already past the unblocked part. You know what I'm saying?
And then you would have a chance to be like, I can put, it is unblocked. They can't block those creatures then. I'm pretty sure that'd be...
if that works that way, then it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Because then you're able to bounce it and put it on a creature that actually got through. Like,
bet.
yeah. Then maybe that is why, because it has a ninja on the damn picture, so maybe that's another bonus to it.
Kind of looks like a samurai to me.
Well, that's what the ninjas are. Ninja fool. Well, Sliver, another Sliver one is Sliver creatures you control get exalted. It's 4 and 1 white. That's a lot for that.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that guy.
We're trying to speed this up, aren't we?
I guess.
It'll
only be a 2-hour episode.
Let this roll forever. Weren't we in like a specific color?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
What's going on here?
It just like mixed them all together. So
Yeah,
we started.
I'm really confused.
All right. So now we move it.
That's
It's colorless.
No, none of
Yeah,
those were
that didn't make
colorless.
sense at all. We were naming cards that were other colors. All right, let's jump into these quick.
Kess got a reprint, but we have the first Sliver, which is white, blue, black, red, green. It's a 7/7. It has Cascade. Sliver spells you have Cascade.
So I think this is the best Sliver.
Do you?
I think it's the most fun Sliver for Commander.
Okay, so are we trying to convince Trombley to not have the Hive Lord that gives?
I think this is
indestructible?
the most fun Sliver. Like for Commander, out of all the Slivers, this is the one where I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll make a Sliver deck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
really?
Because it's so random with it, you know, but then it can be so brutal. Imagine casting some big ass. I mean, each one is casting, so you're cascading into multiple Slivers, 2 to 3 off of just this one coming into play.
I think it's good.
And then those each give whatever abilities that happen there, whatever. If you get the one that what is it, Gemhide Sliver, gives them all tapping. So you tap those for mana, cast one from your hand, then it's boom, 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 boom. The next ones come in. Like, there's so much that can happen with this. And the other ones are just good. You know that, all right, they're indestructible, or you're searching for a Sliver in your deck and putting it in, or you know what cards you're supposed to get to win the game. This is so random and can be just game winning off of playing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting shit.
Drunk.
I wish.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the best,
but it's one
but
that
it's the
would
most
make you
fun.
want
Yeah,
to
this is,
play
and I don't.
Slivers.
And I've said, if you listen, like the first couple months of us doing the podcast, Slivers I would never make, but this makes me be like, all right.
And so that's an interesting thing. Like, so we each got a box, and we plan on building decks.
Possibly with
something
it, yeah.
in here.
It depends on what we.
But the question ends up being like, what are we going to get in our box? Like, I don't think we're going to go out and try and buy Urza or Yawgmoth.
Here's the hard part: is if I got this, I don't want to go and buy the Slivers are too expensive now. The main, Hive Lord and Queen and all that stuff.
Yeah, those ones.
And you need to have them in your deck, but it's like, if I get this
could be the problem of like the Bears too. Like, there's not going to be it's still going to be Slivers. You know what I mean? They're even though it's random.
Yeah, but Sliver's a lot better than Bears. Let's be
Good
honest.
Point.
You got 2/2s that generally don't do anything.
Good point. All I'm saying though is like it's going to be you just use the best Slivers. Like what other technique are you going to be tossing in there?
Right, and that's why I've always said Sliver decks are.
It just means that you can't add a ton of Wraths in because your Slivers aren't going to live.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, you're saying if I don't get Sliver Queen or whatever?
Yeah, like.
But the thing is,
you can't cascade into those. It has to be 4 or less.
Well, but you cast those later, and then those cascade into how many other Slivers? Like this can be a very, very freaking fun card to play, but. The cards to get it, you're looking at like a $600 deck, like
more than you want to spend for a deck that you might.
Because right now when we build decks, I have so many tools. I don't have Slivers because I don't want to build everybody has a Sliver deck, and I never went and got them, even when I know they're a good buy before that jumped up with this, because I knew I was never going to build one. Well, now that this is out, maybe, but now I don't have those, so I won't. So if I get it, Lowry, I'll proxy it for you and pretend like we'll trade. How about that?
Just give it to me.
All right, Ren and 6. This is a 2-drop freaking Planeswalker. Legendary Planeswalker Ren comes in
green.
with 3 loyalty. Return up to 1 target land from your graveyard to your hand for its +1.
No.
For its -1, deal 1 damage to any target. For its
Better
-7,
than all of Chandra's.
get an emblem. Instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard have retrace.
That seems really. I really like this card. I think this is a really powerful Planeswalker.
Yeah, it fits in a deck.
If you're playing fetches in a red-green deck, I think you just put this in there.
That's a good point. Keep returning the land. Yeah,
It's gonna be +1ing it. Like if you get it down on turn 2 with
I guess it's 7. It's ultimate, which you should win the game if you do its ultimate, right, Larry?
Absolutely.
Even if you get to the ultimate, and you're not playing an instant and sorcery necessarily deck with that, but being able to keep the land part.
Just think if there's like a cultivate in there, you discard a land card, recast your cultivate, and then get a land into your play tapped into your hand, and then you can just continue to do that.
Yeah,
that's thinning your deck, shuffling, ramping, and just putting a bunch of land into your graveyard.
Yeah, that's good.
That ultimate seems really fun. Next one after Ren and 6, we're going to talk about Cloud Shredder Sliver. Red and a
Ninja
white.
Turtles will take him down.
One. We need a turtle.
Turtle power. Oh, we haven't done it. Oh, that might be my song next.
You can't. I liked him better. Red and white for a 1/1. You did not. Sliver creatures you control have haste and flying. Fucking trying to sabotage me. Moving the computer screen.
All right, that's good because it is. It's good for slivers.
Yeah, it's quite good. Aldemari's Call is getting a reprint.
Fallen Shinobi is 3, 1 blue and 1 black. Zombie Ninja. Or you can pay for Ninjutsu 2 and a black and a blue. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of the library until end of turn. Again, it's not casting. You may play those cards without paying their mana cost. This is awesome. Ninjas are getting so many freaking tools. And Yuriko's really already a freaking good deck, and I just the ninjas they added are just, I love them. We already talked about Ice Fang.
We did. Kaya's Guile at a colorless, a white, and a black for an instant. You get to choose 2, so this is kind of like a command almost. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Exile all cards from each opponent's graveyard, so you get to keep your own. Create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying, and you gain 4 life. And this has Entwine 3.
Choose all of them.
Yeah, so you can pay 6 and choose all of those.
That's pretty
sweet.
Which
seems good.
Yeah.
But just having everybody sacrifice a creature for a white, a black, and a colorless plus a bonus on top of that, that seems quite good.
Yeah, I like it. Did we talk about Skelemental?
No, we did not.
Lightning Skelemental, 1 black, 2 red, Elemental Skeleton, 6/1 Trample Haste. That's your blight or your ball lightning. And then it has whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. And then it has the ball lightning ability, sacrifice at the end of your end step.
I would probably put this in Skeleton Tribal.
Skelly Tribal.
Skelly.
Or this.
Yeah, okay. Reap the Past. It's X, red, green. Return X cards at random from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Reap from the Past, or Reap the Past. Do you just tap enough to return everything from your graveyard to your hand?
Sure.
That seems solid.
Yeah.
Especially with that enchantment that doubles the amount of X.
Hey, there you go. Then you return it and then return it again. If you returned them all already.
Return
them.
Seems solid.
Boy. Blue and a white Unsettled Mariner. 2/2 changeling, so it's all creature types. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or ability, an opponent controls counter that spell unless they pay 1. I like that for a 2-drop.
Yeah, for a 2-drop. I was thinking that was similar to Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, where they have to pay 1 for each non-creature spell. semi-similar. Etchings of the Chosen, colorless, white and a black enchantment. Etchings of the Chosen enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the Chosen type gets +1/+1, and then you can pay a colorless, sacrifice a creature of the Chosen type. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn.
Good tribal.
I'm pretty surprised that it doesn't say target creature of that type you control gains indestructible until end of turn, because it clearly states they want you to be playing a certain creature type.
Mm.
It's like in everything. But yeah, I think it's vampires.
Yeah.
I mean,
spirits. Do you have spirit? Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Do you have spirit?
No, let's not.
We do too.
No.
I don't know.
I don't. You do know. I don't have spirit.
It's a good uncommon enchantment for tribal. Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah,
I like it.
Would you put this in Edgar Markov? Being able to sacrifice your little 1/1 token.
Yeah,
they're bigger
for sure.
And then you're giving your bigger, more popular
indestructible
vampires indestructible.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I don't understand why this one's uncommon, but whatever. Ingenuous Infiltrator, 2 and 1 blue and black. It is another ninja, but it's a Vidalcan ninja. It has ninjutsu, blue and black. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Yeah.
That's silly.
That's rare. That's rare level.
Yeah.
That's cheap ninjutsu. You're drawing cards.
It's one of the cheapest ninjutsu, and it's not just the other older ninjutsu ones. I don't remember which one is it. The Mist Veil one that when it deals damage, you draw a card or whatever. There's one of them that it's just that ninja. You're drawing cards. This one is every ninja that deals damage. You draw a card.
The Deep Hours.
Is that what that one is?
Yeah. When it deals damage.
So it's just silly that it's every ninja getting through and you're drawing a card. I don't understand why that one's uncommon, but hey, whatever. Fuck.
Okay.
If you put it at rare, it goes up another $6 or $7 instead of almost at $1 right now as an uncommon. Yeah. So I'll take it.
But even that's really good. Blue and a black. Return
your Rico cost right there.
Yeah. All right. Lava Belly Sliver, colorless red and a white for a 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have. When this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and you gain 1 life. Seems solid.
Yep. That guy?
No, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Rot Widow Pack, 2 black and green spider, reach 2/4, tap 3 black and a green, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach, then each opponent loses 1 life for each spider you control. So at least they're losing 2.
Yeah.
It needed to be legendary. Fuck.
5 does seem to be a bit much, but it gives you that reach, which can be interesting.
And Death Touch, doesn't it? No, not Death Touch.
No.
I just made it up.
Mm-hmm. Death Reach.
That guy?
Of course.
Yeah.
Soul Herder.
So a card we talked about from the art earlier. Sweet freaking art.
McKinnon again. Soul Herder. Colorless white and a blue for a 1/1. Whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Soul Herder.
Yep.
Huh. Okay, I thought it was whatever like exiled you control.
No, it's any.
It's any. So okay, sweet. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control, and then it enters the battlefield under your.
So you're at least the first turn if you have another creature out. Exile comes back. It gets a 1/1 counter.
It's a 2/2, and like.
There's so many ETB stuff that you're just going to be just flickering,
and this just
all
gets
this
bigger.
Yeah,
like think about just putting this is Brago's colors straight up.
Yeah,
like play this Brago, deal damage, flicker a ton of creatures, make this into like a 6/6, 7/7, or even more. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just silly.
That card's really good.
All right, we already talked about the Horizon lands is what they're called, but one other special land that they did come out with, which kind of it's not completing the cycle of all those, but we have a couple other.
It a little bit.
Yeah, well, because we have
it's
the blue.
Third one.
Yeah. So it's Hall of Helod's Generosity, and this is legendary land. Heliod's.
Closer.
Heloid's Generosity. Tap it for one colorless, or you can tap a white and a colorless. Tap it, put target enchantment card from your graveyard on top of your library.
Yeah, that's great for enchantment decks.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yep. And then we had the cycling lands and
snow covered lands and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So that is an hour and
that's enough.
2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
2 hours.
Look what you did to us.
Look what you did, you little jerk. This is why we don't have specs this one.
I feel bad.
All right, so you guys, it's a freaking good set. If you can get a box, it's really expensive, but man, there's a lot of freaking cards that you can pick up.
It'll be interesting to see where prices end up going.
We only talked about the cards that we liked, which was every single card in the set.
That's not true. There was
we probably cut like 10.
We skipped a bunch of commons.
This is ridiculous. This is by far the longest episode we've had.
We had a really. It took us like a week to figure out. Yeah.
And we have another episode after this. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
I don't know how you're going to do it either.
All right. Well, that should do it. You guys can follow us on Twitter.
At CommanderSmiths.
You can shoot us an email.
At CommanderSmiths.
You can go to YouTube, subscribe, and put on there. What are we talking about? What is it again?
It's Garruk's Dong. We're switching it.
Write that down. Garruk's Dong. Or if you feel weird about writing that, you can put Meat Force, but Garruk's Dong will be pretty sweet on YouTube, and you can get in the drawing for next month.
Because I'm sure people are turning it off right after that and then running over to YouTube and going, Meat Force. And then they're going to be like, fuck, I totally screwed up.
Garruk's Dong. And then go to our Patreon page. If you go, level 2 or higher, you get any of the proxies of the week. If you go even higher than that, you get multiples at the end of each month. We'll be sending out everybody's from May. Thank you guys again. The ones that have continue to, we got a new one this last month, and then everybody continues to contribute to the podcast. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. It's crazy that we did it for a year without money, and now we are getting money. No, I'm just kidding. We haven't even taken it. We haven't put anything into it. I think the next thing we're going to do is camera wise. Yeah, so the money we're going to get from that is going to help fund like making the videos that we're going to eventually do when we kind of get settled in a little bit more. But we're going to have that go towards more content is kind of what the idea is.
Hoping to be able to do more and more.
Yeah. So it's not just going, all right, Larry, here's some money so you can go buy some cards. It's everything that the idea with it is it's all going towards the show pretty much, like whether it's gas for one of us to drive up or whatever, or the materials for making proxies or stamps and stuff, that's what it feeds.
So this will get better.
Thanks. That's another one of every color but green this works with. The 2 lands that you just talked about.
That was accurate description of what should be going on.
Such a dick. All right. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
He's such a dick. It's funny because you don't even realize you're a dick until I point it out. I'm like, oh, thanks. That's the colors I just talked about.